Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Nun. I'm here today to help you with something that I struggled a little bit with until I figured it out myself. And that is getting StarCraft 2 to run on a Steam Deck. This is actually pretty easy to do. It's a little glitchy, so you may have to fiddle with it a little bit in terms of having to submit your username and password a couple times. And I had like the login for battle.net failed a couple times. Once I was able to log in and have it remember my login account, it now boots straight into StarCraft 2. So I removed battle.net from my Steam library so I can show you how this is done. It's very easy to do minus those few glitches. The first thing that you need to do is go into desktop mode. That's easy to do. You press the Steam button on the left side of your Steam Deck, go down to power, and go to switch desktop mode. And that will bring up a normal computer desktop, just like this. It works exactly like any other Linux operating system, and it is functionally equivalent to something like Windows. So once you are in desktop mode, the next thing that you need to do is install the StarCraft 2 files themselves. And to do that, simply download StarCraft 2. Here's the downloads. Wait now. And now we will download. It'll create your battle.net setup. You want to put this somewhere that you can find it. I'll put it in my downloads. And as you can see, I already have it here. So I'm not going to actually save this. But you would click save right here to have the actual file. Okay? So you're downloading the Windows version. Now go to Steam. Mine's saved down here. You can also just type Steam like you would in Windows, and it'll pull it up. Once you're in Steam, you need to add the battle.net game to your library. So go to Games, add a non-Steam game to my library. Try not to lose there we go. This is the add a non-Steam game. So it's not going to show up here in this list because it's not a file that's actually already installed. So we're going to go to Browse. We're going to go to our downloads, battle.net setup X. We're going to add that, add selected programs. Now, if we go to our library, you can see here along the left-hand side, here is battle.net setup. You've now completed the hardest part of this whole process. All you have to do is hit play, and it probably will not work. So in reality, most times, they may fix this in upcoming updates for Proton. But in the meantime, we have to manually tell it to run this battle.net program with a specific compatibility tool. So go to Game, Properties, Compatibility, force the use of a specific Steam Play compatibility tool, and choose Proton Experimental. Proton is a system that translates Windows programs into a language that Linux systems like SteamOS on the Steam Deck can understand. So you must put millions of dollars into making Windows games playable on the Steam Deck, even though it's a Linux operating system. And that is what we are doing here. We're using the experimental Proton. Okay, Proton's the name of the program that translates Windows impulses from your StarCraft to the Linux operating system. Once you've selected this, you can go ahead and close. And when you hit play, it'll probably do a download for you. I already had the experimental installed, so it's not going to do a download. But for you, it'll do a download to install the new experimental, and then it'll pull it up like this, just like if you were on Windows. So you go ahead, it'll download your battle.net agent. It believes that it is on a Windows system, even though it's not. And you may actually get some errors that say that it's not guaranteed to work on a Linux system or it won't work on a Linux system. But I've been playing StarCraft 2 on my Steam Deck for approximately 2 to 3 weeks now with no problems at all. So I'm going to turn off launch battle.net when your computer starts. It'll do its install. Okay, so we've completed our installation. Battle.net will now run. Now this is the part that is a little bit glitchy. This can take a really long time to get through this. I'm not sure if it's because it's having technical problems or what. So, and this is where you would do your login. I'm not going to do it myself, but you could log in with Google or with your email or phone account and continue. Once you have put in your information, it'll give you the option to stay logged in. Because this particular login screen is a bit glitchy on the Steam Deck, I would suggest keeping it logged in. Click the little check mark that says stay logged in. That way, when you fire battle.net from your Steam library, it'll take you directly to your battle.net dashboard, and you won't have to put in your name and password and all of that stuff. Once you've got Starcraft fired up, you'll have to install it first. You'll go to Starcraft 2 on your battle.net client and install Starcraft just like you would on any other system. And you should be able to run it from battle.net just like you would on Windows. So it's that simple, guys. You need to, quick summary, download Starcraft 2 from the Starcraft 2 download.battle.net site. Go to your Steam client, go to games, add a non-Steam game to my library, browse, find battle.net. Once it's added, right click, properties, compatibility, select Proton Experimental, close, and hit play, and it'll work from there like it would on Windows. It might take you a try or two. Be patient. Some of these loading screens take a while for some reason when you're running this compatibility layer, but once you're actually in the game, everything will work just fine, and you can get back to doing what you like to do. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it was to the point. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to ask me. This is like a 5-minute thing to do, so I hope to see you out there on the battle.net ladder playing on your Steam Deck. Have a great day.